Hey, welcome to 5 Minute Lunch Break today. Glad you could be with me, and thank you for allowing me to be with you today. Also, I want to go to the book of Exodus. I'm sorry, chapter 40. Can't read. I'm too far away, and I'm too old, I guess. Exodus chapter 40 and verse 34. If you go back and read that chapter, God is giving them instructions for setting up the tabernacle in the wilderness. He's giving the Israelites the instructions for setting up the tabernacle, and it's very, very detailed process, and step by step by step by step by step. And then when that's all done, they're getting ready to enter the tent or the tabernacle. And it says in verse 34, then a cloud covered the tent of the congregation, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. And Moses was not able to enter into the tent of the congregation because the cloud abode thereon, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. And just a little thought today. You know, we know that there has to be order in the things that we do in Christianity. But we don't want to get to a point that we turn Christianity into a religion. The important thing about this whole process was that once it got done, then the glory of the Lord would fill the tabernacle. And that was what was needed. It was not about man. It was not about somebody's personality. It was certainly not about Moses and what he wanted or what he dreamed of himself. But it was something that God planned, and God gave the plan to Moses. And then once it was completed and things were done in the right order, the whole purpose was to get to this place so that the glory of the Lord could fill the tabernacle. And that's what we need so much in today's world, I think, in today's church world. There is a song that is called Shekinah. J. Thomas did it, and they did an event called David's Tent. It was set up outside of the White House in a green space there, not too far from the White House in Washington, D.C. They've done this in different parts of the world. And it's just a time of worship. Different churches, different worship bands come in and take time and just worship. And people come in and spend, they may spend days there, they may spend a week, however long. Anyway, and it's just a time where they just worship the Lord. And so you can go back and look that up if you want. Again, it's called Shekinah. It's under J. Thomas and David's Tent. But part of the song is, most of the song is just a prayer for the Shekinah glory of God to come down and fill the tabernacle. And this tabernacle, the Bible says that we are the temple of God. And so the song is about that. And then at the end, it says, do something, God, that only you can do. Do something, God, that we can blame on you. And I think that's the one thing that is missing a lot of times in church today is, we do the right things at the right time. We have an order of the way that we do things. We live in a proper manner. But the real need for the world is to see the glory of God revealed. And that can happen in a multitude of ways. There's no one description at all. But it has to be something that only He can do. Something that you can look at and say that God, that had to be you. And that is the revelation of God, I think, that we need in the world today. That He does things that only He can do. I know a lot of people right now that are sick, that need healing that only He can do. I know people in financial need that only He can meet. And around the world, different ministries are trying to do ministry on very limited budgets and needing more, and the need is more than can be accomplished without God. It has to be done through God. And so that's just my thought for today, leading into the weekend is, as we go to our separate church services, are we just attending? Are we just being a part of the number that shows up? Or are we coming with the purpose of seeing God do something that only He can do? And I'm not talking about just we want to do that just for the service, but I'm talking about that we see things that we can take out into the world beyond the church service. Obviously it can't be just there. We want it to be out in the world where the world can see that there is a God who is able to do all things and who loves them and is willing to do amazing things for them. So again, today, just let's do things right. Let's do things in order, and but let's do it with the purpose of seeing the Shekinah glory of God come and fill this tabernacle here, so that when people are around us, they know there has to be something. There has to be a God that's living inside of that person. All right. God bless you. Hope you have a great day in the Lord.